Okay, we are live. Hello and welcome, Mike Catalana. I am Jenna Cottrell. Welcome to Buffalo Plus. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's about to be 4 o'clock. It is
Yeah,
the NFL trade deadline.
I'm
Oh,
exhausted.
you're exhausted by what? Scrolling
Yeah, I mean,
on
I'm kidding.
Twitter?
Your comments, the comments on here,
Oh, I
hilarious.
gotta read some because they've been
Yeah,
impeccable. Um,
going to be a short show.
JP Yes said this trade deadline pod is sponsored by Shark Wipes, which is a deep cut, but that is very
So,
good.
who needs a trade? Gabe's on the way. I tweeted out, I would just rather see Gabe get his shot because there's a Tim Graham tweet that
Yes.
probably maybe a lot of you saw from The Athletic who said, watch out for Debo and or Vaughn, one or both of them
Yeah.
coming to the Bills.
Yeah. So it's 4 o'clock now. We don't at this point know if the Bills have made any trades. Sometimes we'll hear about stuff a little bit after the fact. So, but my expectation is that the Bills have not done anything in terms of making a move. Uh DP Holt saying, do the Jets have a team still?
You know what's funny is like I like what the Jets did. They're a mess. It's going to take them a while. They are realizing that even though their drought, for God's sakes, their drought will go on maybe longer than the Sabres. Maybe the Sabres will finally make it in the next couple of years. But I think they're looking at it like we're getting ones. We have to rebuild this whole thing. They traded. It's so funny. I said to somebody, the Jets traded away their, two of their best players. And they're like, the Jets have best players.
Yeah.
Like Quentin Williams is really good. I think Sauce is really good. People will give you numbers to tell you otherwise. He's a really good player. I would have loved to have seen the Bills make a run at Garrett Wilson. Whether the Jets would have done it or not, I don't know. But that's the kind of player you go after. But yeah. Yes, the Jets still have a team and they have a lot of draft picks, but man, they got competition in the tank mode because there's some badass football teams in the league. The Dolphins are a disaster.
Yeah. Some other comments. Eric saying this is crazy. Naps saying, wow, Beane does nothing big. Surprise.
Okay, so
Last Man Standing text is saying, Beane, what the heck are you doing?
So Nikki, I apologize for not knowing how to pronounce her name. I think it's Habala.
Okay.
Covers the Commanders, says Commanders stand pat at the deadline.
Oh, okay.
Only saying this because the story or the tweet was that's the Commanders with Debo. Who had the tweet? Somebody had the comment that trying to confuse the other team with two guys named Samuel.
That was really good. There's some really, really good stuff. A lot of people just saying that they're disappointed. What do you think? I will say we had this conversation off camera on Sunday, but after the Bills won, I was like, I don't know if they're going to do anything at the deadline. And that was just something I felt like at that point, I wasn't exactly sure about the Hoyt injury. So now I could understand why there would be that thought of, all right, Daquan Jones, we don't know when he's going to be back, just in terms of the entire D line, Michael Hoyt being out. But what do you make of it?
Oddly, Jenna, I think I hinted at this. And then even with the Hoyt injury, I feel better about the defense because of the influx of the young players. Deion Walker's playing well.
Yeah.
More Jordan Hancock, more Max Hairston. I think Poyer's helped them.
I do too.
I think it's a transition there. And, you get Shaq back. You've got multiple linebackers that can play. AJ's playing. I mean, all those things made me feel a little better.
Yeah.
So to me, it opened it up to say, go get Josh some help if you're going to do something at the deadline.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean something won't still happen because we've had this happen before. I think you were saying, where it goes past. Breece Hall, sick about my brothers, man. Happy for them, but man, I'm sick.
Dang.
I think he's sick.
Well, he's sick because he's staying.
Because he's staying, exactly.
He's sick because he's sad.
Like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we want to give a shout out to Sonny. Thank you for the super tip saying our wide receivers can't separate. And I think that kind of talks to Look, the Bills had a lot of success on Sunday against the
Yeah.
Chiefs. Josh Allen looked good, but I think there was and has been some concern from the fan base of just like, do the Bills have enough in terms of being able to compete? And so your expectation, maybe mine as well, was thinking that they could bring in a wide receiver at the trade deadline. When you saw, I can't say Shahid's first name, but when you saw him get dealt,
Rashid
Rashid Shaheed.
to
Sorry,
Seahawks.
yeah. Were you like, I don't know if the expectation changes
They
now?
gave up a couple of picks for him. I would have loved to have had the speed on the team. Here's what I will tell you. If all things being equal, and this was the Bills had not made a move for Josh Palmer,
Mm-hmm.
and they made a move today for Josh Palmer.
Yeah, you would.
I think people would be excited.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, we got a guy, because it's what they thought of bringing him in.
Yeah.
It hasn't been great. He showed that little flash. That's what Bills guys do now. They show that flash, the guys you brought in, then they get hurt.
Yeah.
So he got hurt.
The injuries.
Now get him back on the field. Believe me, I'm not making an excuse and saying they don't need a receiver. I'm saying is you don't want to give up too much for repetition on the roster. And you don't, it's like, look, I'm disappointed. I wanted to see a receiver. I wanted to see some help for Josh Allen. I would have liked to have seen some form of a pass rusher, just to give them somebody else. Doesn't mean it won't still happen in another form, because players will eventually get cut, and sometimes that happens later in the year. But it's a little disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. Like, honestly, I was hoping they would do something, because I think this team they're coming off a great moment, a great win over Kansas City on Sunday, but we've seen the struggles that this team, this offense, this defense can have. And sometimes I think we look at the trade deadline as like that push before it gets to real serious December, January type of football, hopefully February football, where you want to see a team almost to have the intent of like, all right, we're like pushing in the chips a little bit.
It's failed though.
I agree. But there's been moments like the Rasul Douglas really to me was okay. They made a move and it worked out that season. But I hear you. Like Amari Cooper had one good game in Buffalo and then really tailed off.
Yeah.
I mean, was it Nyheim Hines? Was it
Nyheim Hines?
Yeah.
Had the kick returns.
Yes.
We'll never forget that from Nyheim. I remember doing a video about the Nyheim Hines trade. It got one of the biggest responses we've ever gotten on Buffalo Plus. People were very excited. It's supposed to be his pass catching running back out of the backfield. And he never became part of the offense. Go all the way back to your guy.
KB?
Yes.
Calvin Benjamin.
That was early. Beane was that was a different time though. He was trying to help Josh along. And it just hasn't happened. So the deals they've made haven't really been impactful. That doesn't mean you still can't make deals and try to make them impactful. And they didn't go for a higher level player. Now, Diana Rossini said teams in the AFC East reached out to the Jets. The Jets were reluctant to deal within the division.
Which makes sense.
That's the Bills and?
Yeah, of course, the Patriots.
Yeah.
So
I guarantee you the Patriots probably made a call on Garrett Wilson.
I would imagine the Bills would as well.
And maybe even Breece Hall for the Patriots, because their backfield has not been great. Do
you think that the Bills look at Gabe Davis almost as like a trade deadline acquisition? Because hear me out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right, but Sean McDermott in his press conference yesterday gave an update on Gabe Davis, like unasked, and I thought that was interesting. Joe Brady was asked about Gabe Davis and just talked about the player that he is, how he is all about his role, how he is a great blocker, which we've heard all about. Do you think they kind of look at him as like, here's a guy? But truly, I'm not saying I look at it like that, but I could see in a scope how the Bills would look at it as, oh, we're getting a wide receiver who's had success with us before and hopefully can bring something to this offense again.
Do they look at it that way? I think they look at it.
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it depends on what's out there. It's easy to say you bring in this guy, that guy. I'm going to say it again. I'm not a big fan of having Gabe play, but I think he's going to end up at some point getting activated and playing on the roster. Let's see what happens. You have Palmer on the roster. I would have liked to have seen him move Curtis Samuel, but It doesn't look like they're doing
I would
anything.
say I don't know what the market would be for Curtis
No,
Samuel
it would
either.
be. It's tough.
Even like people are like trade Keon. Keon is different because he's young. And I
Yes.
know we joke about a player being young, but there is that potential of, you know what, maybe he just needs a fresh start, change of scenery, that type of thing. But
you're not doing that unless you brought somebody in, because they don't have anybody to play on the outside. Even though we would kind of agree that Keon shouldn't be there, they don't have anybody to play there. So
yeah,
our friend Mike Giardi tweeting the Patriots stand pat. I mean, it's looking like this is going to be a short show because they're not going to make a move. We're going to give it some time because you don't know what happens. And then also keep in mind, down the line, teams will cut players. Players be released. I do believe you still have to. Now I think every player that gets released after the trade deadline must clear waivers.
Okay.
So that's where it makes it different than in the past.
Yeah.
Where up to this point, where a veteran gets released, he doesn't have to go through waivers. So it looked like
personal thoughts.
Yes.
I am sad because I think there are holes on this roster. I don't think that's a hot take, me saying that. So I was hoping that the Bills would make some type of move to bring in
Bill.
Bill
knows.
Yeah.
BTJ. I know.
I wonder what it would have cost.
You know, they probably would have been looking for a 1. They would have been asking for like a 1+. And let's be honest, if the Bills are trading with a team and that team says, you're going to give us a 1, well, the Bills 1 is going to be somewhere in the mid-20s to 32.
Yeah.
You know, lips to God's ears, right? 32. But so, you know, it's a high number 1. And so if the Bills call you up, they're going to go, we want a 1 and something else.
Yeah.
And I know maybe he's a pain, maybe he's a problem, but man, I'd be fired up right now if that guy was joining the Bills.
Oh my gosh,
his skill set would work.
Happy Wolverine joining us just now. Did we do anything today? The answer is we don't think so.
Yeah.
It's now 4:11. We have no update on any trades made by the Bills. So my expectation is that no, the Bills stayed pat at the trade deadline.
Now they are a rare team in this way. I'm not making excuses because I would have made a deal. I keep saying this. I would have tried to find a way. But because of the influx of the other players, they have gotten a bit of a bump at midseason.
I agree.
And the Hoyt thing really hurts. That's why I thought maybe they'd be out there. They may still be out there. There are players out there. There are players. There are players who've played in the league. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes it doesn't mean you bring somebody in. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a veteran tackle that gets released. I mean, they could use somebody else on the D line. But it's nothing that's going to get you excited.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a trade, you're like, oh, at least there's, usually a high name player or a player that can contribute. Whereas if a guy is cut, that's because the team,
you know what else, Jen, I want to ask you about contribute. This. I would like to hear from Beane that they were interested in making deals for players, because at least, let's just say, for argument's sake, the Bills reached out to the Jags on Brian Thomas, reached out to the Jets on Garrett Wilson. I'm just throwing this out. Chris Olave from the Saints. And it just wasn't going to work. Teams are like, hey, guess what? We'll wait it out. We'll get this in the offseason. We don't need to take whatever. At least it would be telling me they recognize that.
Yeah. I'm assuming they made calls. Like that's what a GM does.
Right. But in order to do that, you'd have to be recognizing.
Well, yes, I hear you. You have to be recognizing that there are opportunities for your roster to get better and the need for that. But I just think that if you are making calls. I just don't know if anything. I'm disappointed because it's like they restructured Taron Johnson's contract. They freed up a little bit of money, and I'm like, ooh, like maybe they are going to do something. Eric, thank you for the super tip. Beane makes calls, not deals.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I mean, I'm
same.
And the only reason I'm bringing up the other stuff is because this is the reality. You as fans and us covering a team or have this. This will be the majority. This is the version of the team, right?
Yeah, no, this is what
it's not like you're sitting there going,
and I don't know if there's enough talent on this team.
Well, at least this is God, you said it for Sunday? Do you think if it goes well,
I said that
it?
to you in the press box. I said,
I
if
think
this goes well, I don't think they're going to do anything at the deadline.
Yeah.
It stinks. Now, do you think we will hear from Beane? Because generally after a trade, we are going to Buffalo or Orchard Park on Wednesday, tomorrow coming up, and usually he would go to the podium if there was a deal done. But because he's not, I don't expect him to. But what do you think?
He might tomorrow. Like, I don't think he'll do. I don't think all of a sudden he says, I'm going to go in the media room today. I think he might tomorrow. I would say he's not necessarily obligated to, because they did not make a move. But
yeah,
man, yes. So is Jenna right? Yes, I think Jenna's right. Someone was asking if Jenna's right. Yes.
Mike, I'm scared. Hear me out, trust tree. I'm scared. Defensively, they have had a lot of injuries. I do feel encouraged that they've made it work and that they can have a plan to play the ball that we've seen them play as of late. I have a lot of faith in Sean McDermott running the defense, and we've seen what that's done. My fear is that there is an injury to a guy like James Cook, and he is the workhorse of your offense. And if something like that were to happen,
oh yeah, that would be devastating.
Devastating. I'm just saying, aside from James Cook, there really hasn't been a playmaker on offense. And yes, Josh Allen is obviously included, but I'm just saying, aside from those two guys, I just wish there was more talent on that offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Move Hairston wide receiver.
Yeah, I know.
That's what Ed says. That's pretty good.
Man, by the way, this was a wild trade deadline.
It really was. Oh, I want to mention Sophie saying Bishop, Hairston, and Walker are studs. Thanks, Beane.
Okay. I was going to say this the other day. That was a big day for Brandon Beane, because Michael Hoyt looked like a player. It's not Brandon Beane's fault that Michael Hoyt tore his Achilles. It's just a terrible thing.
It's really unfortunate.
But he looked like a good signing.
Yeah.
A very good signing. And now we're just going to have to see for the future. Hairston, I think, what did Sean say? He looks the part.
Yes.
It was not too big for him, is what he said.
Yeah, the moment
and it really was
the
case. I like Jordan Hancock a lot. I believe I said here that he would be the starter at safety.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming. At some point, I think it's coming. He's going to start at safety. Man, I've been around Dan too much. I'm taking a lot of credit. I'm taking credit with that one before it's actually happened. And so that was good. Deion Walker looks good. Like, what they need is TJ Sanders to maybe come back, get Daquan back. They need more bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they feel, again, I'm only saying these things because we're trying to figure out, maybe they feel better about TJ and Daquan coming back and helping on the D line more than to go out. That's when I was saying is about trying to make a trade for a D tackle.
Yeah.
Maybe they feel better about that and they don't need just a guy.
Daxie asking, where is TJ Sanders? Remember, he is on injured reserve. He got put there a couple weeks ago. So he is a player that is eligible to come back.
Oh my God. People are just left my ass. Gabe had 4 great games in his entire career. This is because I tweeted about that because the tweet was about Deebo Samuel. They didn't want Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is a lesser version of Khalil Shakir, much less now. He doesn't get separation, doesn't win in man coverage, runs the same kind of plays, and seems to be a bit of a pain in the butt. Okay. And he's hurt all the time. And Von Miller, unless, who knows? You know what's going to end up happening. You know what's going to end up happening is that the Commander's going to end up cutting Von at some point, and he's going to end up back. But
excuse me, sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
that was what I was replying to. I am not sitting here saying I want to see Gabe Davis. I'm just saying Gabe's on the roster. He's on the practice squad. He has played in the league. So
interesting question from Charity. What's the difference between last year's receivers and this year's? It worked last year. Why not this year? Well, I think Mac Hollins is also gone.
Yeah, Mac helped a lot.
Yeah. I do think too, in year 1 of Joe Brady really taking over the offense, there's that for a lot of defensive coordinators and teams that are scouting the Bills, everything looks a little bit different because it's his first full year doing it. Whereas now this is the second time going through. You need to have some more creativity. You need to have kind of some of those things that are a little bit different. You have to evolve. And so I think that's also can play into why last year went the way it went.
You're right. They played the hits. Teams got the tape on them. It has changed. I think I was encouraged by the way Brady called the game on Sunday.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Just get him one more guy. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, and
one more guy. I guess you're going to have to hope that it's Josh Palmer.
Yeah.
Right? That he
and we'll learn more about his status in terms of his injury coming up tomorrow.
By the way, we got one comment that says Mr. Tambourine says Von Miller, I'll take the one word out, is a grandpa. No slander against grandpas. Seriously. Man, he's saying that like it's like a bad thing. I don't think he is. Not yet.
Von Miller, grandpa?
Yes.
He is older than me, so I don't know if I don't think that's a great thing.
Are you older than every player on the team?
Probably.
Not the punter.
How old's the punter?
How about
I can't spell his last name, so
how about Reed?
I think I'm older than Reed. Great podcasting here.
That's all right. We're waiting on Beane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm older than him.
You're older than the punter?
Yeah. I mean, Mike, it's 420. Just please. Just kidding. I don't think they did anything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Vivian, thank you so much for that super tip of $20.
Vivian, way to come through.
That is amazing. Yes, Vivian came through.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying.
Mac Hollins was a dog. You are not kidding with that.
Yeah, he was.
I thought Mac was the one free agent in the recent years that has exceeded by far what they paid him when they brought him in, the expectations, all those things.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sophie also adding that, hold on, it just disappeared. Was it Sophie? Oh, Stephanie, excuse me. We also had Amari Cooper last season. I think whether or not he really showed up in terms of his on the field play, other defenses had to respect what he could do. So yeah, I think that's fair that kind of changed the dynamic of the offense.
Yes, there was some influence. Beane has said that when they got him, they raised the amount of points they scored. He just wasn't very impactful, but it's what we talked about. The idea of them scoring all the 30-point games and all, it's still about making plays in big moments, big games. And like you said, was James Cook and Mac Hollins in the championship game.
Yeah. Yeah, they really had some nice moments.
Yeah.
All right, it's Dub Vision saying, you both have such a paranoid mentality, no confidence through battles. Every team has battles and injuries. This Bills fan base, whatever, we don't have to read that bitch. But I mean, that's fair. Every team does have injuries. Every team does have bad moments. That's 1,000% the truth. I think the reason, I don't want to speak for you, Mike, is the reason I fear and have worries about the Bills not adding any talent at the trade deadline is because I just think for this team, they've been really close, but they haven't been there yet. And so my thought is always, why not add more talent where you can to help this roster be rounded out in a way that helps them in those moments that they've failed in previous years. What do you think?
I agree with you. I would say this. Oh, Thomas Jones, thank you. Says the Bills just didn't have enough expendable collateral to deal with the jealous NFL teams who had what we needed. Yeah. They didn't have enough. It's funny. I'm going to go all Howie Roseman here, but Eagles won the Super Bowl last year. He is constantly making deals.
Yeah.
Constantly. They have a ton of draft picks. They're getting comp picks next year. They have the Jets' 3rd round pick. They make deals. They bring in a pass rusher, even if it's for half a season.
He's very aggressive. Yeah,
they could very well get that back in the with a comp pick, or at least they have other draft picks. I think they'll end up with at least 9, if not 10, draft picks next year. But
which is crazy. Yeah,
constantly looking to upgrade the roster. Doesn't mean it always works, but if you're on that team, it's like, and they have players coming back from injury.
Yeah,
and then they say, hey, guess what? They got Brandon Graham came out of retirement. Then they went and got Jalen, what's his name? Phillips from the Dolphins.
I respect that. Yeah.
So
Bill saying we are spoiled by Buffalo Plus. Thank you, Bill. We appreciate that. That's ooh. Sorry. I got a little dry patch.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Well, here's the plus in this case. I guess the plus or equalizer. Patriots didn't make any moves.
Yep.
The Chiefs didn't make any moves.
Yeah, I think that's a win for sure.
And you know, it's interesting with the Chiefs because of their offensive line issues, though they'll get Simmons back.
Yeah.
They have some injuries there. I'm surprised. You know, teams, if there's decent offensive linemen, they're usually not willing to deal them unless they have to. Because you don't see now that I just saw that the Chargers picked up a test. Like they need somebody. So yeah, Charity saying hopefully Palmer will step up. Before he got hurt, he was playing good in that game. Yep, he was.
I mean, that's the most impressive I think we've seen him play.
Yeah.
And then for him to have the injury, maybe it was starting to click, and maybe he'll be able to pick that up when he returns.
A little surprised that the Harrison Phillips thing didn't happen. You know, he's with the Jets. If they're in need of a D tackle, I don't know. Just thought maybe that would happen.
That's fair.
Yeah, but again, they have to have some faith about if Daquan's coming back and Sanders is coming back, then it's different. The Dorian Strong thing makes me sad for the kid. I hope he's okay.
I know.
The neck. It doesn't sound great. Hopefully they just mean it in the tone for this year, and it's not more than that, because Sean was being respectful there.
Yeah.
Just saying right now it's not going.
They didn't get the information they wanted to hear. And
yeah.
That for the privacy of Dorian Strong, they wouldn't really say more about it. So yeah. And that's tough. That's a neck injury. You never want to hear that. Those obviously incredibly serious. So that's something to think about as well. Okay.
Well, we wish we had more for you guys.
Yeah. Oh, Nathan saying young Mike made it on Peyton's Place.
Yeah.
We did see that.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, it's pretty good.
So it's Peyton Manning and Josh Allen's pretty funny. Like when they're like,
it's actually Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I know. Right. But they're talking about dumping stuff in the falls in the barrel, and it's and there's a lot. And as you've heard from me here, I've seen a lot of shit. And so they got a clip of me. I had no idea.
Sorry. No, Prater is 42. I'm not 42.
Oh.
So I am not the oldest person on this roster.
Okay.
He's got me by
Prater and I went to high school together. No, so all of a sudden, Matt Bove, our friend of the pod, texts me and texts us and says, you're in the Peyton's Places. And it's a clip of me reporting from when the Sabres lost the finals game against the Dallas Stars. And I'm on for like 2.5 seconds. I joked with Jenna, I keep getting on all these other things, except when they come to my house and tape for 2 hours, and then we don't get on that show. But
it's so true.
I know.
Okay, Vivian saying $50.
Whoa.
$50.
That's very, very generous.
Go Bills is what Vivian said. Thank you. That is incredibly kind. Wow.
Bob Link is always great. Always with comments. This on Twitter says, I think eventually Gabe replaces Shavers. TJ and Daquan are coming back. They beat the Chiefs without Oliver and Palmer. Yes, I agree with those kind of comments. There is some reasons to be encouraged from what we have seen. Just would have been nice to get a little spark there for the offense. That's what I would have liked to have seen.
No, I completely agree. But like you mentioned, I think the silver lining is the Patriots didn't do anything. The Chiefs also did not do anything. So we'll have to see. Now, the Patriots do still have to play the Jets twice this season. So don't exactly love that.
The Bills get what? One more.
Yeah.
One more against them.
Yeah. But they also play the Dolphins.
Yeah.
The Bills do on Sundays. So.
Jenna and I spoke with Will Manso from Miami. He's always a friend of the pod, very honest about the Dolphins. That'll be up tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll have that up for you tomorrow morning.
We'll post
so you can check that out. We'll be at practice tomorrow. And if you're in the Rochester area, we will be at the Pittsford Pub
on Thursday,
5 to 7, 7 to 8 with the live pod. You can watch the pod here, but come out and see us. We've had a ball having people come.
So much fun.
Yeah,
it really is. It's really cool. People are so sweet, and they just it's wild.
And then we're in Rochester again the next week out in Gates, which is the west side of Rochester.
McGregor's.
And then in December, We're going to be in Webster, New York, but
Yes,
we're also
we're
going to
be
be
in
back in Buffalo at
my spot,
Riverwoods.
Webster.
Yes, to Jenna's. She's basically the mayor of Webster now.
That's
Do they have a mayor in Webster?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No. What?
I don't know if it's a mayor. What do they call it?
I don't know who like the
town supervisor.
Probably that's like the top
You don't
thing.
know him? They asked for
Why
your
did you
advice?
assume it was a man?
Don't know her?
I don't know if it's a guy or a girl.
You didn't even know one existed.
No, I did not. Okay. Also, Ryan said, I'd like to thank you for sharing Waffle Wednesday, Jenna. I do it every Wednesday with my first cousins. I'm so glad that someone else has adopted Waffle Wednesdays. If you don't know what Waffle Wednesdays is, you just send a quick little update to your friends that you want to stay in touch with, your family. Every Wednesday. It's really fun.
Eric says Orchard Park was the best meetup. That was early in the process.
Yes.
We appreciate people showing up for that one.
Pops Mafia said Jenna is the mayor. Pops, thank you. Appreciate that.
Please.
I appreciate that. Rocket Man asking, will Landon Jackson ever play here?
I'd like to see. Well, he's gotten some snaps. He's been in the games before.
Yeah.
It's funny when Hoyt came back, that basically put him back to the bench. I would think he's going to get out there.
I would imagine that would be the case. You would expect that. I think he has been more of a project than maybe many of us were expecting when the Bills drafted him. But you hope that he can find his way out into the field and gain the confidence of the coaching staff.
Johnny says, I'm happy no Debo or Von
I'm
with you there.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I did not. They've gone down that road. And there's just the Debo thing just doesn't fit.
It really,
doesn't fit. And Von, we've been there, done that. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
They did free up the money for Taron Johnson. Now, that doesn't mean they don't use that money for other things. They still need some flexibility.
Yeah.
There are times there's players out there, that you can still sign. We're talking about like unrestricted free agents that have not been on a roster. That happens sometimes. You pick up a player. So,
yeah. Okay. So no moves
go
made.
Sign Eric Molds. Well, he fits the profile. He's played here before.
Yeah.
So,
yep. So no moves made by the Bills. We'll be in Orchard Park tomorrow, Mike, Dan, and myself. So I don't expect to hear from Beane, but it should be a pretty normal Wednesday in terms of hearing from Sean McDermott as well as Josh Allen and some of the other players. You know what I want to ask is just like the roller coaster of the season for just the NFL season in general. We're like halfway through right now, obviously, and how Sean McDermott and the coaching staff kind of instills that even, steady, kind of even nature to the younger players. Because I feel like for the veterans, they know it, but how do you instill that in the younger guys? Because it is a roller coaster ride.
No doubt about it. And if you haven't been around it, in college is just so different.
It's so different.
They get up, Penn State gets up for the Ohio State game and Michigan, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you got about 6 games on your schedule that you're playing the Sisters of the Poor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's very different in the NFL. It's just very different. So.
Yeah. I'd be curious. I also want to ask about Reggie Gilliam.
He's
been lighting it up.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us here. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you for spending. I love the comments. People have been cathartic. There's been some great comments.
And thank you for the money.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is totally unexpected, but very, very appreciated.
Vivian,
so thank you so much.
Coming through big.
I know. Seriously. Okay. All right. That'll do it for us here on the Buffalo Plus. Oh, Michael's saying $5. Thank you, Buffalo Plus, for being here with us to vent a little bit.
Yes.
Hope to see you guys on Thursday. Well, Michael, we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we would love to see you on Thursday. Yeah. All right. That'll do it for us. For Mike Catalana, I am Jenna Cottrell. Dan Fades with a veteran day off. Please be sure once again to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we will catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel from the Connors and Ferris podcast studio. Woo! All right.
I just ended it there.